everybody. I'm so excited to be with you tonight. My name is Michelle Smith, and I am the host of Minority Report featuring Black-owned businesses. This is your go-to resource for entrepreneurial interviews and honest product reviews of Black-owned brands. So if you are like me, you are very conscious about where you spend your dollars and you want to invest in more Black-owned businesses, this is where you want to be. So definitely, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you're not following me on Facebook, baby, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and do that right now. We're going to get into tonight's interview. My guest tonight is Kim Chisolm. You probably heard that name before, heard the name before, sounds familiar, and that's because her family has been on here before. I've interviewed her husband, I've interviewed her son, the Black Wall Streeter and the Black Wall Streeter Jr., father and son. They get together, they travel everywhere, helping people develop investment clubs. Well, tonight I have on mom, wife, Kim Chisolm. She has so many letters behind her name. We're going to talk about what it is exactly that she does and what she is passionate about. Kim, thank you so much for being my guest tonight. How are you?
I am so good. And I want to, of course, thank you just for the opportunity to join you and for this platform just to share about what I'm up to these days.
I'm not even going to keep talking. I'm going to let you introduce yourself in Mental Essentials Unlimited.
Thank you. Thank you again for the opportunity. So last summer, I created a summer camp, and the title is Mental Fortitude, and it's a cognitive and behavioral journey for athletes. So for many, many years, I've been working with adolescents in different capacities, in juvenile justice systems, in courts, and boys probation house. I am now a counselor in the middle school and the high school. So a lot of the work that we do in those programs is a cognitive behavioral approach. So throughout the years, I've been doing a lot of research, been doing a lot of individual and group work. So I said, well, why not come up with a curriculum where I can teach athletes in particular about the journey toward mental toughness? So I was initially inspired by this idea when we were trying to work with our son, who's an incredibly gifted baseball player. So he brings a lot of talent to the table. Thank you so much. He brings so much talent to the table. But sometimes we wonder if there's a part of his mental toughness that may be able to complement his game. So we started reading a book together about mental toughness, and I was just inspired. Why not take what we're teaching him and spread it to his teammates, to other teams, not just teams that are baseball led, but track teams, volleyball teams, just trying to circulate it around just to see if other people could benefit from this curriculum. And so far, it's been received really well.
That is awesome. Now, it's like you say mental toughness, and logically, you would kind of think that you know what that means. But I want to hear from you, like, what is not necessarily the clinical definition, but go beyond just, you know, if you can think it, you can see it. If you can see it, then you can, you know, like go beyond just trying to like manifest mental toughness. What are, like, give me a definition and give me some examples of how to actually prepare yourself for the game, prepare yourself for life by using the term mental toughness.
And thank you for that question. I really appreciate how you separated those two. So when I think of mental toughness, I think about resiliency, and I think about the ability to focus and execute certain solutions in the face of adversity. So sometimes people say your head is not in the game or keep your head in the game, you know, kind of similar terms such as that. But what does that actually mean? To have your head in the game, or to be focused in the game, or concentrate on what you're doing. For some people, life is just more about sports. And for some people, it's really hard to concentrate on a given sport. Because they have just so much else going on, you know, issues at home and issues with school and issues with extended family and finances and health issues. You just name it, right? Kids have a lot going on. And sometimes people wonder, what do you have to worry about? You have a place to live. You don't have a job. Life is easy. But mental toughness is just that. It's how do I execute despite everything that's going on? How do I bring into play the resiliency that I see my parents and my forefathers bring before them too? How do I get it and what it's about? So a lot of people say, just be tough, just be strong. But what does that mean? And how do I do it? So when I think about mental essentials, I think of a platform that teaches people just how to do that and what it means. Is it stress?
Right. And that's what I was going to
Finances?
ask. Like, what is it? Is it like, what are some of the barriers that those that you've worked with have described to you that has limited their ability to be mentally tough? Because I don't think some people like recognize, you know, what it is. They feel like I got to work harder. I got to eat better. I have to exercise more. But sometimes it really is like a mental block. So what are some of the things that the people that you've worked with that they've described has kept them from being mentally tough? And I want the people who are watching this to see if they can identify those things within themselves, because I want them to walk away from hearing this interview and be better and be stronger.
So if we look from a historical perspective, many people are not in touch with their why. Like, why am I running track? Why am I playing baseball? Why am I doing this particular thing? Am I doing it because someone said that they think I'm good at it? Am I doing it because my father or uncle or older brother also participated in this sport and it's expected of me? So I think really before answering that question is taking a look at your why. Because if you're doing this particular thing or activity because you have a love for the game, an appreciation of the game, it fuels you. It kind of feeds you what you need in order to navigate your journey in life, then that's half of the battle won.
Right.
But when you're doing something, whether it's a major in school or sport or a particular job for someone else or to please someone else, in your heart and your mind is truly not in it, that's one of the major reasons that can impact your play or your execution in an actual game. But if you resolved yourself to, I'm doing this because this is something that I'm passionate about, I feel like this is my gift and my talent, then the work that you put into it, into your practice, into your nutrition, into your mindset, almost goes without saying.
Right.
Because you're interested in not only learning what it takes to become that athlete that you want to be, but you're also interested in doing the work behind it.
Right.
So it's a difference between knowing exactly what to do to excel in a certain area. And there's also a difference in putting into the action the steps that's required. So you're saying that I need more protein. Well, what does that look like for me? You're saying that I need to practice harder. Well, what does that look like for me? Do I need more strength and agility? Do I need a one-on-one coach? Do I need to focus more during my team practices? What does that look like? Because for each person, it will look and feel and be executed very, very differently. So it's not a one-size-fit-all approach. And most team-oriented sports present that image. This is what we do as a team. This is what we do together.
So that's a really good point. And it makes me wonder, well, now I want to know specifically, when you do your coaching, are you coaching one-on-one or are you coaching teams at that level? Because it's like when I hear you speak, it really puts me in the mind of Phil Jackson. It really does. So if you've like ever read any of his books or just heard him speak, period, yes, I hear a lot of that coming from you. So are you targeting, for your services in particular, are you targeting individual athletes and you're working with them one-on-one with the things that you've kind of described, or are you working with a team so that they can function and operate all on one accord?
It's a very good question. So my attempt in this camp is for a team approach so that we can get on the same goal page about what your SMART goal is, right? What your short-term goals are, long-term goals, what's been working well for you, what clearly has not. Sometimes it's not about an abrupt change. Sometimes some tweaks and some minor pivoting or what's in order. But what
Awesome.
I've found is that most parents are very interested in one-on-one work with their son or daughter.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want groups or teams to know that their son or daughter
Is
is
struggling.
struggling mentally.
Right.
So they recognize within themselves and with me privately that there may be some mental components that may be impacting their level of play, but they don't want it known and spoken about publicly. So a lot of requests I get are, can you work with my son or daughter individually? He or
Understood.
she is struggling with this. They're taking this type of medication. And although we are seeing some level of improvement, I think meeting with someone one-on-one could really benefit them. So, just like everyone else does, there's such a huge stereotype connected with mental health.
Right.
Despite what's gone on the past few years, you think we'd be a little more advanced as far as
Yes.
open communication
It's still a
about it.
stigma.
But it's okay to not be okay. But people
Absolutely.
don't, it's good when it applies to the neighbors next door, right? But that logic
But
is,
you
of
don't want it to be
course,
your child. You don't want it to be you.
Right. So my goal is more teams, more
More
teams that are
teams.
interested. But what seems to be the case are many, many people expressing individual work with their son or daughter and their families.
Are
So
you
I've
hosting
done,
camps this summer?
yes, I am hosting this mental fortitude camp
Okay.
online.
Online.
And it will
Okay.
be for 1 week.
Okay.
During the week of July 11th.
July
It'll
11th.
be from 10 to 2
Okay.
Eastern Standard Time. I'm super, super excited about it. We've been
Yes.
getting some interest. And of course, we're still getting interest to just meet with their son or daughter individually.
Right.
But we're getting some group interest too.
Okay.
And one of the most exciting things about this camp is that it will extend beyond just the summer. So during the course of the year, I'll continue to work with team and groups and organizations in the evening and on the weekends as well. So
That is
it's one of the
awesome.
things that I enjoyed. It's not just limited
Right.
to summer.
To summer.
And one of the things that I also enjoy is that this camp is not just for athletes. It's designed for youth in general, from ages 13 to 22. And I have some life lessons in there that will help you with sports in general and just life beyond.
In life.
Yeah.
Right. Because you want to be a real well-rounded individual. You want to be a good athlete, but you just want to be a good person at the same time. So I see exactly where this is extremely beneficial. I want you now to tell everyone where they can go to register for the summer camp. I know people want to meet with you one-on-one, but you don't have one-on-one time. So go ahead, let everyone know right now where they can register, how they can get in contact with you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I am at mentalfortitudecamp.org, or you can email me. That's always a great way to correspond. And I'm at kimsmentalessentials@gmail.com.
Awesome. Kim's Mental Essentials at gmail.com. Everyone who's tuning in, you have the contact information. You know exactly how to get in touch with Kim. If you have an athlete or you yourself are struggling with mental toughness and you want to be your best, please reach out to her.